Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be taking a first look at Raven, who is a new 5-star ascendable who is going to be a promo character. She did seem to come out a bit too early. It seemed like her roadmap dropped exactly 12 hours too early, so it looks like someone maybe did it 12 PM when they meant 12 AM, which is the normal release date. Or release time, should I say. Looking at her 5-star, this is what it looks like in terms of her assets. She has a pretty cool get up in terms of like what she's wearing. She's got a nice little sword or blade in her leg sheath. And if we go to the 6-star, you see quite a big upgrade in terms of her jacket. She looks pretty badass. Now her weapon, well, you get a very small glimpse of it, but it does look really sick. And we did have a talk about potential cosplay style weapons that people could find in the apocalypse that could be pretty funny. Well, look at her stats. She has got very balanced stats, as it is 1,768 attack, 1,821 defense, and exactly the same HP as her attack, which is 1,768 again. Her trait is fast, and she is seen as a support character. However, she can do quite a bit of damage. As we look at her rush, is called Ebon Weakening. It is a 76 AP cost rush, deals 650% damage to a line of enemies. Those enemies get impaired for 2 turns and minus 20 AP. Up to 2 teammates regain 60% of their max HP. So she is a sort of all-round character with that rush. I seem to think that if any character has any sort of crowd control or any heals, they're instantly taken away from being seen as a damage dealer, even if the damage they put out could be insane. And 650% is nothing to be sniffed at. That's a Tyrese rush, you know, that's the same level as Tyrese rush. Her base damage is not as high as his, but it's close. She's nearly at 1800, so it's pretty close. She has got a really nice active skill as well. Probably the biggest draw within this character is that active skill, and it is elusive and AP gain. All other teammates get elusive for 2 turns. This character gains 35% AP. Where this is really strong is it has an initial cooldown of 1, so that means you can do it on the first turn on your attack, or you could have your defense team do it the first turn on defense as well. And obviously it's exactly the same as the Holly rush, but on an active. That means it can go off much earlier, where everyone on your team is going to get elusive. That means when your characters attack, they're not going to give AP to the person they're attacking, and also when they are attacked, they're not going to give AP, which would, let's say I attack a character, I normally get 20 AP for doing that attack, and then bonuses with my weapon. If that character has elusive, I get 0, nothing. And that is really powerful. It has got a very long cooldown of 7 turns, and it does only last for 2 turns, but by turn 4 is when you're going to 100% need your rushes to be coming. Like, most teams want their rushes turn 2 or turn 3. But this is going to make it so that everything's slowed down by 2 turns. And it's going to give you a massive advantage on your attack team, a massive advantage on your defense team. It's a very powerful active skill, and I'd say it's one of the most powerful attacking active skills in the game without a doubt in terms of just control. However, the AI, if it understands how elusive works, may focus Raven to gain AP if the AI changes have worked that way. Who knows there? Any attacks that hit Raven obviously will still gain that AP, obviously. Now, she has got a specialist skill, and it is Indomitable, which is one of the better defensive specialist skills in terms of just the amount of damage she's going to take. She can be quite tanky, and it scales, so obviously it just gets higher and higher, so you get 30% every time she gets hit, and it can be immense. There are some characters out there already that have Indomitable that are very hard to take down. Even some old characters like Indomitable Hunter and Indomitable Tyrese, those 2 revive characters can be very difficult at times, just because the amount of damage reduction can be huge. Now, we're going to go across this weapon, and just by the look of it, on this page, it doesn't look great, but you can see it in her hand. That's it, when it's actually like upgraded a little bit. It does look really nice, and it has got 30% defense. She has got a 15% HP upgrade slot. You can do whatever you want here. AP on attack if you want that rush to go off more often, or you can just make her very tanky. When being attacked, a 50% chance for the enemy to get minus 40 AP. Now, the normal minus AP weapon that you can craft in the armory is minus 30 AP, and it's called a better chance, which is sort of seen as 30 to 35% chance. This has got a printed chance on there, so you know exactly how often it can happen. 50% chance. And it's obviously much more powerful than the one you can craft in the armory. So effectively, in terms of the buff, this is a 5-star weapon in terms of the actual power of that buff. It does say it's 150 power, but it's much more powerful than what we can get already. So that's like closer to 200 if I'm honest. I would say Raven is a really good character for attack teams in terms of that early control, and it can counter those AP percentage gain teams with the weapons a little bit if you get that active skill off turn 1, obviously. Any Zacharies that attack all of Raven's team will not gain AP, so cannot be commanded on that same turn, and that could be a nice little counter. She could potentially be very useful. She does look really cool as well. There's a lot of effort going into the way she looks and her get up. Her character art in the roadmap as well looks excellent. I think she's very good. I would definitely pull for her, but I am like 5,000 coins down on where I should be right now, just based on the fact that I cannot watch videos, unfortunately. Rip coins for lockdown, unfortunately, at the moment. But do tell me what you think about Raven. Will you be pulling for her? Do you think she's a good character? I think as a standalone character, she is actually very good. She doesn't need anyone else to be good. She is instantly as good as she can get, and I don't think anyone else can really make her any better. She's going to make other characters more powerful. She's going to allow you space and room to actually get your rushes off if you weren't able to in the first place, just based on the super fast teams that are out there at the moment. But that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.